Goats.
The lightweight.
Yeah. Uh, first comment I see is goats. Uh-oh. Mosquitoes. Get out the bug spray.
Did you start it or?
Yeah. Yep. It started. No guarantees it's going to keep going, but it started.
Finally connected.
How's everybody doing on this fine Friday? Goats and shade tree. Phenom's got to be here. Chainsaw Canoe. Goats. Doing great, Kenny. Good to hear that, Kevin. Thank you, Goats, for the super chat, buddy. TazMan-Kenny Fuller. Aaron. Good to see you, Aaron. Good to see you, Goats. Viking. Another week. Good evening, Lloyd. Don't touch anything.
Yeah,
Don't touch it. Let's go, Andrew Scott says. Yeah. Good conversations today, right? Who else was here? Phenom. I knew it. I knew it. Another great, great week on the mountain. Busting boulders. TazMan, I'm glad you are loving your new job at the rock pit. I really, really do enjoy it. It's just nice and it's just peaceful. You wouldn't think that running a jackhammer on the end of a boom of an excavator would be peaceful, but it is. No more swing shift. Done with that. Done with that.
Kevin Maxim.
Kevin, good to see you, Kevin. How are you, buddy? Sounds good on the job, Taz. It is real nice, Kevin. I've been loving this job that I'm on. I'm having more fun than any man should have with their clothes on. Heck yeah, goats. Just the sound of it sounds like a blast. So rewarding and satisfying, enjoyable.
Right, Aaron?
Who don't like breaking stuff, right? Chippy. Anyone else having an error? Uh-oh. Error.
Let me check.
Did we freeze or something, Goofy? 4 minutes in, not even 5 minutes in?
Mine's fine.
Grizzman. Running big toys is always enjoyable. Kevin Duff. Awesome. My brain is having an error code today. That happens, Kevin. That happens, Kevin Jones, for sure. Great to see you, Grizz, man. Machine Gun Kenny.
Good Lord. It's not really going to stick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, with Phenom, for sure. For sure. Machine Gun Kenny. Closed out. Working now. Well, that's good. Good to see you, Chippy. Been stuck in my head the last 48 hours. Reds Tillers. Good to see you, Reds. Chippy.
God. You better not start that crap.
Chip. Let's get her on. Thank you, Chippy. Appreciate you, buddy. Not been a good spot to be. No. An idle mind. You know what the idle mind is, buddy? It's the devil's playground. Yeah. Now I'm here and feeling better. Glad to hear that, Kevin. Chippy. Gotta finish packing and give her the beans and turn some pavement.
He's heading to Jay's.
Oh, right on. You guys gonna do some tree work or something?
That big job.
Open the damn door, shade tree.
Clearing that property.
They're what?
That job Jay got clearing that property that
Yeah.
I bought. Yeah, that's what it is.
Awesome. No hot box in the house. Nature. Hello from Germany. Good to see you, Nature and Hun.
Almost have the Dodge roadworthy for the trip.
Nice. We got in the 90s this week. Kevin Duff.
Oh my gosh.
90s.
What a weird.
Might put up a temporary swing up in a tree this weekend. Will Worthen. Sorry I missed you last week. I was in Omak for a memorial service.
68 degrees here.
Sorry to hear that, buddy. But understandable to miss the live for sure.
Right.
I don't want rain anymore. I do what I want, Kevin Jones.
Go see.
Goats 88. It was warm down in North Carolina where Johnny's at week or two ago. It was super hot down there already for him. Thank you, Nature. I appreciate that. Just finished fixing up a still 026. Nice little saws. The 026 is a dandy saw. Jay Ferris.
So Mexican is rad.
It's in the 60s here and the province-wide fire ban already. Wow, really? Kevin Jones, fire in the hole. Time to get pie. What do we got? I better wait a few minutes, huh? Just got Damien's birthday cake, goats.
17 today.
17. That's impossible. Sun finally came out here in upstate New York. Well, that's good. It's been off and on here. It's still pretty chilly in the mornings.
We had snow the other day and sunshine.
Was it a cake that looks like a Mac saw? I want to be blindfolded by fishing line. Oh, there's the crazy kids. Bailey and Lucas. Hi, Bialy. How are you guys? Good. That's good. Good.
Let's celebrate their 20th super chat on live stream. Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin McKetty. Thank you, Kevin.
Careful, it's dangerous in here.
Weapons.
Jay, the mongoloid tree is getting leaves on it.
I'm talking about this morning. I was wondering why they're brown. Do you need to borrow an axe?
Maybe a few 20, 30, I think. That's so cool.
How are things? Good to see you, Brennan. We in the Tasmaniac Shack. Going great in here. Ain't it? Nice
Oh,
and clean.
So I don't
Perfect.
take reservations, but they said that it shouldn't be too busy because the patio is open.
And sit outside.
That's what
what
I
I was
said.
saying.
I was like,
I
them
don't
bugs
know,
get
so-
my
Well, we
food.
can go
Fine.
somewhere else if they're packed or whatever.
Because
They're
it is
not-
small.
It won't be packed.
Well, Dad, it's small in there. Very small.
Like when I went in there,
There's like 8
Like-
tables.
4, I thought there was like 6.
Yeah, Joan. Oh yeah, Kevin. Shade tree's still there, buddy.
How can you have like good food and then like not
Oh,
have
yeah.
seating?
That's what they were thinking.
I see that. Oh.
Next month, TazMan-Kenny. It is like a month, almost 2 months. Month and 2/3.
Our casino that's over the mountain. They have a really good looking food too.
Yeah, and like. they
Corey
could've made-
won't
it's,
cut the
supposed to be really
mongoloid
fancy,
tree.
So, like, they should have made more seating, so that they know that like
It is pretty small.
people want to go to a fancy restaurant and make it big.
It's good to see you guys.
Kiss your dad. You have to go find Mickey food because he hasn't really eaten anything. So.
Well, just hold. No.
He hasn't eaten anything.
Well, go get a piece of bread and toast it. Put some butter on it or peanut butter, and it'll get him by. And then we'll go eat dinner.
Well, I was just saying like something from in the house. I was not saying like go get something.
No, just there's some licorice in there, some saltwater taffy.
I'm done.
Go
There's
get into
some
the licorice.
there's some snacks in there.
Yeah, I saw some strawberries. Probably.
Mom's got some chips.
No, Mom doesn't.
Ooh,
Yes, Mom
the
does.
chips.
I gotta go finish my lab report.
I won't be on here long then, and we'll go and we'll get out of here and we'll go eat dinner. All right, give me 50 minutes. I'll have a cash prize if someone can get my wife to run a saw at TazMan-Kenny. You're on.
I'll get her too.
You're on.
She can run mine.
You're on, buddy. What's her favorite color?
Mine's fun.
What's her favorite color?
We'll just paint a saw, whatever her favorite color
Yeah.
is.
What's her favorite color? Pink.
Of course it is.
Pink. What can we dye
I,
pink?
I can't do a pink anything.
What can we dye pink?
Pink?
Save the mongoloid trees. Brennan, challenge accepted. Was that the baseball player? Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, it was. Peanut butter toast, the ultimate tide you over. Heck yeah.
Nice.
My boy's first T-ball game is Tuesday. Sweet.
T-balls. Fun.
Heck yeah. Get it started. Get it started, buddy.
That's when you still just watch and
They won
relax.
They won their first 2 games on Saturday, and then they lost both of them on Sunday. Got to see quite a few home runs hit, though. I need pink hair and matching logging boots.
Jay, do not start your shit with me.
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, how was your drive home, Jay? Yeah, you want to talk about that? Yeah, let's go.
Oh, we're doing good. Facts. He's a hitter, both sides of the box. The coach asked him which side you swinging from today. Right on. That's cool. Pink suspenders. Pink spenders. How was the car wash? Touche. I'm assuming it's a touche moment.
It was. Okay, whatever, Jay. Shush. As you noticed, dear, my car's still dirty. Yeah.
Awesome. I was stoked with that one. Heck yeah, Kevin. That's cool, man. It's a good thing to be able to do in baseball, for sure. Joey Gordon. Good to see you, Joey Gordon. How are you, buddy?
There's trouble. You need to get rid of some of these boxes in here.
Great to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're here, Joey Gordon. He's 6 hits out of 10. 6 hits out of 10. By an underhand pitch, he's got the eye for it already. That's awesome. Gavin had his first baseball scrimmage. He made a great tackle.
Ghost.
Oh, I'm glad you're doing good, Joey Gordon.
Oh my God, goats.
I want to talk about one of the things in the title of the video. I want to talk about carburetors a little bit. There's normal carburetors, you know, that most people deal with, right? But now they're starting to put these, you know, they started putting the primer ball on a lot of chainsaws.
Bye, Jay.
Right.
Tell Damien happy birthday.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you, buddy. So they're putting the primer ball on a lot of chainsaws, whether they're auto tune or M-tronic or whatever, and even the carbureted ones. Well, I have never ever dealt with a carburetor with the primer ball. Okay, so first thing about this, okay? Last week's live feed with the chainsaw from Joey Gordon, imported by Muffler Delete 101. I want to straighten some things out. Okay? I want to straighten some things out right now. Right here, right now. For testament to Muffler and to Joey Gordon, that chainsaw was not built for here. Okay? Like if you go to someone to your favorite porter, chainsaw porter, and you tell them what kind of saw you want, and you tell them where you live, and they know how to do all that kind of fancy stuff, they're going to build you a saw that's going to end up running well where you are. Okay? This was not the case. Okay, Joey Gordon just wanted to give me this saw. Okay, so it has nothing to do. It don't have nothing to do with anything other than basically a carburetor with the primer ball. Now in this carburetor, now this there's more to this than just this one's messed up or whatever, was messed up, might still be messed up. I don't know. Like I said, I've never dealt with one. Okay, but this is another testament for me to not use ethanol fuel, because ethanol fuel kills things like this. It's tolerable in the bowl and in the diaphragm. It's tolerable there somewhat until it starts to glaze over the very inside of the carburetor. Okay, the passageways that the gas travels, if it sits for amount of time, it just glazes it and it wrecks stuff. And I'm pretty positive that's what happened to this. There's a check ball in this thing. Okay? In this line right here that's connected to the primer ball, there's a check ball in there. And it would stick. And it still might stick. I got enough stuff sprayed through it and worked through it and sat in it. And it's working properly now. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but that's what this little tube is for. It's for testing that check ball. Hear that? I can pull air through it. And it's a one-way. It's a one-way. Okay. It's supposed to pull, I'm supposed to be able to pull air through that, not push through that. Okay. So it's open now. Listen. Hear that? Yeah. So anyway, if you're dealing with a carburetor and you're dealing with a chainsaw or a weed eater or whatever else 2-cycle that has a primer ball on it, just something to keep in mind.
Leonardo's here.
Leonardo Batista, Lumberjack Taz, using the chainsaw, Husqvarna 61, cutting wood. Ethanol free is all I run. They're yeah. Ethanol is not it's not real good. and if you take this to a saw shop on the saw or a weed eater or whatever, a lot of times they're just going to tell you you need a new carburetor. And you think, why can't I just rebuild it? Well, you can, but if this primer ball passage, if that ball in there is stuck from ethanol fuel or from rust or from whatever can get in there, right? It's kind of junk to the average person, to the normal everyday guy, that goes down and buys their stuff at Walmart or whatever, you know what I mean? So keep that in mind. There's an extra passage in these carburetors that isn't in a normal carburetor that has to do with that primer ball.
Aaron's never bought ethanol-free fuel in his life.
I'm not saying don't run ethanol fuel. I just don't. I just don't. I don't. People can run whatever they want to run. We live in a free country still, in my mind. I know, I'm not going there, but I'm telling you that ethanol will ruin this. My brother worked for the DNR, and he was a small engine mechanic, and they had endless 361s, 362s that had this problem. And that was like the start of the Amtronic, had the wires, electric wires and all that. He had a box. I'm not kidding. He had a box this big. And I'm showing you a box of probably 18 inches by a foot deep, full of those carburetors. Because there's nothing you could do.
Hi, Brian.
There's nothing you could do with them. It just ruined them.
Aaron, I'm cheap.
Jack my lumber.
Brian Johnston came in.
Brian Johnston.
And Kevin, or not Kevin, and Billy.
Who?
Billy?
Billy from Philly. Those bulbs disintegrate. Yeah, so I'm going to put this carburetor on there after I say this. I'm going to put this carburetor on here, but first I want to let everybody know that if you're interested in one of these, the Casterman Timber Pilot or the Forest Axe, Casterman's website is now up and running. You can go see his products that he has, and he's going to be adding more products as time goes. He worked with Nick Pixel to get his website all set up. So thank you, Nick Pixel, for helping the old Casterman out. But anyway, his website is up, and it is CastermanAxes.com. Simple. CastermanAxes.com. Go check them out. Anyway, I'm going to put this carburetor on here, and we're going to see if it if it works. We'll see if it holds what it's supposed to hold. Right? Just in case. We better have that bad boy hooked up, hey? Are we good? I think we're good. Get that on there. And now the way I'm going to be able to test this to see if the primer ball, if that little check ball in there is still working good, is I'm going to pump the primer ball. And if it sticks in, then it didn't fix it. Right? Something ain't right. We better look a little closer here. There we go. There's that. Remember. Why can't I remember? Other way? No. Something ain't right here, folks. Johnny Arnett. Great to see you, buddy. I don't know what I got going on here. That's got to be all the way in there. Oh, come on. If I can get this thing together in a timely manner. those are kind of a pain. Well, that's all the way on there. No, it ain't either. Well, now what is keeping that from going in there? That is so weird. Actually end up paying more use of ethanol whether you like it or not. Okay, I can't figure it out. Why won't that go all the way in there? It's not hanging up on that. Something on the bottom. Why? I sure didn't think it was going to be this difficult, everybody. I don't know what it's hanging up on. What hangs them up, Aaron? I don't get it. I don't get it. That makes no sense. Chris Yerp. I like 193. Ran it once. Right now I'm running the Echo 355T. Really liking it. Good to see you, Chris Yerp. I've never touched a 193. Bet if the camera was off, it would drop right in. Right, buddy? Well, it's got a... Well, let's see if it'll pull it in there. I don't know.
Did you say hi to Stoke the Vast?
Stoic?
Yeah.
Stoic. It's been a while, buddy.
And then Chris Yerp.
Yep.
Okay. Usually you don't read your comments very well when you're doing something. Hi, Zach.
Zach. Urban Logger. Had a carb kit, my 192. I feel your pain. Did it work good? Just putting a rebuild kit in it, buddy?
All he has to do is get it close, then grab the filter. This is what Goatsy said.
Goats. Okay, now. A little something like that right there, huh? And we're going to see what it does.
Urban Logger said, yep.
Well, that's good.
Stoic. Hey, Chaz, I got a question about a square jig. I've been tinkering with it, and when I grind down into the tooth, it leaves the top angle half straight and then curves off.
Okay. This is another discussion about this. Okay. You pull it down.
Hi, Arthur.
And it's rounding the tooth, the face of the top plate.
Read his question.
Top angle. And then curves off what Are you taking enough off of the tooth to begin with? Is it a round ground? Is it a round ground chain or round hand filed chain to begin with? And you're converting it to square ground? Curly Bill, good to see you, Curly. Sharp tooth, but it won't square off the angle. At the corner? I wish I had a wheel. I wish I had a wheel this wide, so I could show. If it doesn't get a sharp angle in the corner itself, is it making a mark in the angle of the corner of the tooth? East Coast Aussie. Good to see you, Aussie. This is hard. I am horrible at sharpening. Get a Grandberg jig. You will love it. Makes chains so easy. It's really hard to explain because I don't know all the angles and the ins and outs of all of it. I just know that it makes a really sharp tooth when it's done properly. And if you I don't know how to explain it. Okay. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to draw this. Okay. Now, I'm no artist, but I'm going to make it make sense. All right. My drawing's going to be terrible, but bear with me because I'm going to make it make sense. All right. Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to talk about the wheel, the angles on the grinding wheel. Okay. That's what I'm going to talk about.
He's supposed to be their chainsaw Canuck.
Okay, now, if you're not getting a real super sharp angle in the corner of the tooth, okay, this is your wheel. You're looking at your wheel, at your grinding wheel, and you've dressed it to the proper angles, whatever you choose to have, whether it's 22.5 or whatever. And if you do it on your grinder, then it's going to be 67.5 to bring it down onto your file on the flat thing like Ed does on Square Cutter. Okay? But if you don't get a sharp angle in that corner, this right here is probably rounded. This I'm considering this square and a sharp angle right there. That's a sharp one, okay? Now I'm going to draw one that's not sharp and show you what I'm talking about.
Yes, draw the top of the tooth. Right, Kevin? Ed and his chicken wing fireball.
Okay, now the angles are different, of course, because I just drew it fast. But you'll see the difference. See, this is going to make a sharp angle in that corner. This rounded thing is not gonna. It's not gonna. And it's also going to affect the way that it takes your tooth and sharpens the face plate, the face of the top plate. Okay? If it's rounded like this, it has some goofy stuff like that going on, it's not going to work. Because of the difference between this side right here and this angle right here. right? Happy birthday to your son, Curly Bill. Yes, happy birthday. I hope Ed makes another chicken wing. Where's that
He's on the Joey.
stoic? So the wheel angles need to be fatter. I don't know about fatter. If they're too sharp, like this one, if they're too steep like this one, you won't get it. You'll be ground clear down into the bottom of your tooth. Right? That's why the 22 and a half on a 45 jig will give you right around a 90-degree angle on your side plate. Not your top plate, your side plate. See these? This is what makes the angle, also makes the angle on the side plate. This is awesome. I love it. It's really hard to explain on video, but this is the angle that it will make. I set mine different, so it has about a 3.5, 4, between 3 and 5 degree angle on the side plate. This is the side plate. Okay? This is the side plate angle. Setting it up at 22 and a half on one side and 22 and a half on the other side, you get where I'm going, right? Will give you this will be pretty much straight up and down from the tip of the corner of the tooth to down here to this line right here. Okay?
So it said turn the head 10 degrees.
Depending on what kind of chain you're using, the tilt and the angle, the angle this way decides this angle right here. And also the finished product of the working corner. Okay? And then tilt has to do with what size your wheel is. If you have
High gauge.
Gage Forsberg, no way. Hi Charlie. They're on the bus ride. They're on their way to a baseball game. Yes, that's awesome. Anyway, sidetracked. Okay. Huh?
Johnny rolled into it.
I saw Johnny. I talked to Johnny. Okay. I'm not done talking to Johnny Arnett though. I'll tell you right now. Okay. So the tilt is there for that angle as well. There's so many. That's why it's so hard to explain. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain over a phone. It's hard to explain on a video of everything that has to do with each angle, right? But if you have dressed your wheel and dressed your wheel and dressed your wheel, and it has gone from, say it starts at 5 3/4, and you're down to 5 inches, or you're down even to 5 1/2. The more you go down, the less that tilt the less the tilt is gonna have to be. Okay, and it also changes with the size of the tooth. Is it a brand new chain or is it a half-used chain? All of those things play a part in every one of the angles. Because the wheel, I learned this from John Bob Millwright. John Bob Millwright showed me where the tooth needs to be when you pull that down, where it needs to be as far as center of the hub goes, right? Because it's rounded. It's rounded, right? So you don't want your tooth to come down on the flat part like this, right?
Thanks, Goatsy.
It's got to be back here. All those things, there's just so many things. The best thing I can tell you, if you have access to a factory ground chainsaw chain, the same size that you're working with, put it in the jig and pull your wheel down and move everything around until you see what makes what angle. What angles on the wheel make the angles on the tooth, so you can see it. I mean, see it, right? That is the greatest. That's the greatest thing. One question. One question. Hold on. Time out. Time out. Where are we at?
And Goatsy posted the video that Ed puts up on.
Stoic. What size wheel are you using? How thick? Do you have the 1/8 inch? Or do you have the thicker 3/16? Because if it's 3/8 chain, you got to have the 1/8 inch wheel. Top plate. Top plate. Which part is it leaving round? The back? Muffler Elite 101. Out of that check valve, I always do, but that particular saw did have old turpentine gas in it. Could be possible I missed a piece when cleaning the tank. Yeah, buddy. See? Chris, are you in Southern Virginia? Okay, Stoic, the standard cutting wheel. Okay, I don't know what the standard cutting wheel is. If it's the standard cutting wheel that comes on the grind, did it come on the grinder? That we got to get that. We have to figure that out first, because the too big a wheel, the 3/16 wheel, will do that. The 1/8 inch wheel is what you need for 3/8. Okay, now if you're square grinding, now if you're following the rules and the directions of Oregon for round grinding, 3/16 is the proper wheel to round grind with an Oregon style grinder. For the square jig, you need the 1/8 inch. New fuel lines as well, but always send it back. All my work. 90 days warranty on all work. No muffler. Nobody. And I said it earlier in the video, and I'll say it again. I gave total testament, buddy, because this saw wasn't built to run here. You know what I mean? All those things play a part in all of this, right? What happens makes the whole tooth square, but the top plate angle will not stay straight.
Got that right, Curly.
Which do you have it tilted? I wish Ed was on here. I really do.
Can Stoic eat
Because Ed would know that right off the top of his head. And it has happened to me. That's why, but I can't remember what exactly. I can't remember if it was the wheel was too wide of a wheel. Because when I first started this whole thing, I was going by the directions of the Oregon.
He says he has it at 90 degrees.
Okay, you have that at 90 degrees, the wheel at 90 degrees, yes. But do you have it tilted? Let's go. Can't take it no more.
Are you taking them in there?
I know. Okay. Okay. Now, when I say tilt, gotta drop. Have a great weekend. Fuselit, great to see you, buddy. Okay. This place is a disaster. Okay, so when I say tilt, this right here, the tilt, if you have this Oregon grinder and a lot of the other grinders that are like that, you loosen this up and you push it away from you. Not a whole lot, but this, see this? It's a cam. See that? See it's rounded there? That tilt will help you. You're teasing me, TazMan. I thought you was fixing fire up 193. I am, buddy. You see that, Stoic? See that? That's the tilt that we talk about. That will lay that corner right. It'll bring it right straight down to it. Okay. Now, I'm going to try this primer ball, okay? It's empty. In between this. This primer ball is empty, okay? And so is the gas tank. Okay, where are we at? How thin is your wheel? 1/8 inch. 1/8 inch thick wheel. Kim Wilson. T. Hi, Kim Wilson and Healed Heart. Hi, Tira. Same grinder, and I go back to hand filing. Okay. I'm going to pump this primer ball. And it's working. Okay. Now, We're going to see what it does. Okay? If you are square grinding a new round file chain to square grind, be prepared to lose half the tooth till it is right, Johnny Arnett says. Hey Taz, great news. No surgery needed on my ankle, and I start my new job tomorrow. Right on, T. I'm glad to hear you don't have to have surgery, kid. That's awesome. Okay, let's try it.
Travis, Kim Wilson,
307.
Eugene.
Okay, we have other problems. Apparently. Back to grinding. See y'all later. Got to get ready for softball practice. Right on, Lloyd. Everything, Johnny. That way, everything else is good news. That works too, Chainsaw Canuck. Send it back. I will fix it, bro. The primer ball worked. That part worked. That was a success. Works like a champ. Okay, where'd Stoic go? Just finished up for the day. Right on, Kim Wilson. It's great to see you both. Johnny Arnett. How was your day, Johnny? Long day? Impulse not sealing. What did you do to the saw, brother? I didn't know you played softball, Lloyd. You got fuel. It got fuel without squirting any in the carburetor.
It sounded better than it did last time you tried to start it. Bye, Eugene.
Gotta go. Gonna hang with some friends at the movies tonight. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks, T. Have fun at the movies. Was it not running before? The primer ball circuit was plugged up. Primer will pull into chamber, but with no impulse, won't keep pulling. Okay, so if the primer ball is full now, if it's half full, when I try to start it and it goes dry, then what? New glasses and lounge machines equals migraine headaches. Johnny Arnett. Should the primer ball stay full? Stoic. Taz, I found out the issue. It was the wrong wheel. Thanks, man. Love you.
Thank God.
Right?
Happy day.
Right?
All that.
Hey, and Stoic, thank you so much for the question, and thank you for the refresher on that, because that's one of the first questions that I ask that I ask folks that come to me with questions about with that jig. What size wheel what size wheel is it? Because if it's the big wheel, save it for if you ever want to try round grinding or a bigger chain. It doesn't do all that great on 404 either. The 1/8 inch will do 404, 3/8, and 325. That's awesome. I'm glad, Stoic. I hope you get your angles. Hope you get your angles good, and I hope that thing, when you pull it down, you just turn that tooth and look at that and just like, oh, it's on now. I love the square grind, man.
God.
It's awesome. It's satisfying when you get it all ground up and you look at every tooth and then you go cut with it and it just rips.
I think Goatsy likes it too.
Well, Goats loves it. Goats loves it, especially now, even more with that CBN wheel. You are very welcome, Stoic, and thank you everybody else for your help on that and for the input on that. Because Johnny Arnett's gone through some situations with the square grind. Goats has gone through it. Ozdat has gone through it. He's going through it now.
You.
Andrew Scott, me, we've all gone through these things. That's why I said I wish Ed was on here. Ed would have snapped right into that. He would have said wrong size wheel. He would have known right away. Thanks, man. Have a great weekend, and I can't wait for a new video. Peace out, brother. I can't wait to hear back from you about how well that 1/8 inch wheel works when you get it all set up and you get it all lined up.
Read Goatsies.
I appreciate you, Stoic, and it was great to see you. We miss you, buddy. Goats. Square is awesome to fall with. Oh, yes. 1/8 inch works great on 404. Yes, Johnny. Machine Gun Kenny is a straight shooter. You can trust what he says. Thank you, Phenom.
You didn't even read Goatsies.
Which one?
The one right above Stoic.
And if you buy the CBN wheel, it's on like Donkey Kong. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I'm waiting for mine.
Chip, you're gonna get there at mid.
I'm waiting on mine, Goats. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for pushing me, driving me, and super chatting here, and all of it, Goats.
Chippy, drive safe.
I love it. Chip, chip.
No speeding.
Finally, out of the house, he says.
Midnight your time.
What else was I going to talk about today?
Boundaries.
Boundaries. About 1-ish a.m. Now I've got to go look at my square jig.
We're just waiting for Abby to get home, then we gotta go, dear.
Yeah, Irwin. Well, she should be home pretty soon, huh?
Yeah. Probably in 10 minutes, 15.
Boundaries. I think some people, I think sometimes, I don't know how to say it right, so I'm just going to say it. I think sometimes people mistake kindness and happiness and funness and generosity. I think some people take that the wrong way. And they expect it. They expect a person to be totally, I mean, I don't even know. Don't mistake kindness for weakness, I guess, is along the lines of what I'm saying. Right? Because someone is kind to people doesn't mean that they're it might not be, they may do things in their life that you might deem unkind. But that person is the one that makes that decision and sets those boundaries. It's like me. I had to set boundaries for myself when I stopped drinking. Okay? I've talked about this before, and I'll talk about it again today, because this boundaries are so important for people to have in their life. It helps you sit back and reevaluate what direction and what you really want and what you're really going after and what's really going on. Okay? I had to set boundaries for myself. I couldn't do certain things when I quit drinking. I couldn't go fishing. I don't remember how many years it was before I could go fishing, but I know it was like 5 or 6 years before I could even get in a boat to go fishing or anything. I didn't ride in a boat for that many years. Right? Because everything I did, I was drinking. I went and drove around the mountains, I was drinking. I went fishing, I was drinking. Snowmobiling, I was drinking. Dirt biking, I was drinking. Everything. So there were certain things that I had to set boundaries for, and I had to stick with it. And so back to the other subject of accepting other people's boundaries and not just saying, "Oh, that guy's an ass. He's an asshole, and he says he's kind." Well, he is kind, but he has boundaries. People have boundaries that shouldn't be walked on. Does any of that make sense? We all have to have boundaries, right? We all need boundaries. Sometimes the speed limit is 70 miles an hour on the freeway.
75.
If it's snowing an inch an hour, I think a boundary would be to slow down so you don't end up in the ditch or end up killing somebody or yourself or whatever, right? That's a boundary. Little things like that that's boundaries within yourself. Right? Anyway. I don't know if any of that made sense, but and drink, I spilt too much. Yeah, Chip. Sold the mechanic's toolbox today, but 2 guys showed up to buy it. Luckily, I had 2 toolboxes, so I now have twice the money, no place to keep tools, and made it through the day fight free. Right on, Curly. I tried to be nice, but not incredibly ignorant. Not to incredibly ignorant people. And that's a boundary. That's a boundary, right?
And when they don't get it,
and sometimes you have to make a stronger boundary. You have to, right? In order for certain things to happen. Get taken advantage of till they set boundaries. Once they set boundaries, they may seem insensitive, but they're tired of being stepped on. Exactly. Like, perfect, Travis. Thank you. And awesome wording on that, buddy. Thank you very, very much. Because that's what it is. That's what it is. If somebody wants to borrow an axe or whatever and they break it and they say, "Oh, well, I didn't think you wanted it." Well, my boundaries just got a hell of a lot tighter with that person because now I'm not loaning him an axe. Right?
go see, no hugging.
Right?
Amen to that.
Johnny, I have boundaries. If I cross them, I have demons waiting on me. That's why I have 2 boundaries. The first is a reminder to never get too close to the second.
That's right, Brian.
Heck yeah, Johnny. Brian Two Bears, good to see you, buddy. Nice plus kind does not equal doormat. Primo. Simple. Brian Two Bears, I love you, man. Yes. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit today. Just because there's a lot of it. There's just a lot of it. So if someone and it goes back to what I said, what other people deem kind, is like what other people deem safe chainsaw operation or axe operation. We get to decide where our safety level is, right? If I want to go be all haywire and radical and whatever and just swing a chainsaw around and whatever, then I have to be prepared for the consequences of those things, you know? I mean, and I've said it before, how safe is running a chainsaw anyway? If you really think about it. The chain is slinging, man, and it's sharp. Right now, sharp. They make you deaf. Is it safe? Is a loud muffler better or worse or whatever? Who gets to decide that? The individual that's operating it gets to decide that, right?
Chris Europe asked you a question.
Chris Europe. Taz, what's your thoughts on all these companies going to battery? Personally, love my 2-strokes.
Batteries suck.
I don't like batteries. I think it's
worthless.
I think it's the wrong. I think it's wrong. To keep it short, I think it's wrong.
Batteries are for flashlights and transmit radios.
I think that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's not just a weed eater battery or a lawnmower that takes 8 batteries this big, right? 6, 8 batteries, whatever. What's it take to make that battery? What does it take to make that battery?
There you go, Curly.
They burn more fossil fuels to get that stuff out of the ground than they do oil. And they're telling us not to run a 2-stroke chainsaw or dirt bike or none of that, no gas-powered cars, no whatever. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it.
Who can afford it? It's stupid. They don't last 5 minutes.
My boundary is don't force batteries on me, Husqvarna, and still. Also, I hold y'all on a high level because y'all have bet that part of it. Joey Gordon, we love you, buddy. Johnny, batteries are flashlights and transistor radios, period. Yeah, buddy. Who needs flip lines? They're overrated. Borrow my saw, hand, and my brother saw. Little brother don't have any boundaries. He was one of my trucks. Left town, and he went and snatched a couple purses. A guy tried to stop him and broke out a window. Guy got arrested, and my truck was impounded. Cost me a lot. Horrible, goats. Horrible. Borrow my saws anytime as long as you are paying the operator. I love it, goats. All right. The kids are home from college this weekend, and we're gonna go to dinner. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you all. I know we went a little bit crazy in the short amount of time that we were here, but I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us and asking questions and giving input and helping others on this channel. You're all awesome. That's all I can say. You're all just awesome. And I appreciate every one of you. Marty Rotter, gotta run. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yes, everybody have an awesome weekend. Come a time where the grid cannot handle all this electric vehicle crap. Oh, yeah, they're already there. There's businesses going to try to get hooked up with it for their forklifts in their warehouses and stuff like that, and a certain amount of trucks, their utility trucks. And the towns look at them and they go, we can't do that.
Jokes.
We don't have that much power. Sorry, you can get it set up, but you won't have, none of them will run.
Thanks, Travis.
It's terrible. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate you, brother. Taz Blues is coming fast.
Oh, God, it is.
We love y'all. take care and be safe to your standard. TazMan is rolling. Stay tuned and be kind, but don't be a doormat, right? I love that. That is so awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Kim Wilson, Healed Heart. Travis, appreciate you, buddy. Phenom, Kevin Maxim is a rock star. I love you, Kevin. Billy, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Everybody, we'll see you in the movies.